Welcome to Nevermind the Furthermore. Wait a minute, this music isn't right, the scene isn't right. Hang on. That's more like it. And now it's time for the show for all creatives. Nevermind the Furthermore. Your source for conversation, inspiration, and fun. With your host, Nicholas Anthony Tockert. He's an artist, a writer, a swordsman, and a game designer. He knows how to use the sword and axe in historical battles without anybody getting hurt too much. He's also the Manatee Man, master of marketing. And he may even have a guest or two. One thing, though, to be certain. Just don't call him a cryptid. With that, it's about time for the show. So sit back, enjoy, and have some coffee and chat with us.
Good morning, Nevermorians. I'm your host with the most, Mr. Nicholas Anthony Tockert, coming at you over the airwaves on WNTF, Nevermind the Furthermore. Remember, Nevermind the Furthermore is brought to you with the generous support of our good friends over at the Independent Creator Directory. Yes, indiecd.org, your one-stop shop for the best and the brightest authors, artists, musicians. Look, folks, I've been talking about them since their inception. I'm a proud member of the Independent Creator Directory, and you should be too, because it will help you get a community where you know you can trust people who are making quality products, who give decent advice, where you can be part of something without the fear of constantly having Zuck bots or Twitter bots. A friend of mine actually managed to get dinged on Twitter. Honestly, I'm impressed. So, because Twitter jail is not something you hear about. So with that, please consider having the Independent Creator Directory as a support. I also want to give a brief note that my personal website is still down due to that weird security issue. We will be dealing with that after the convention, whether I like it or not. Most likely because I am up to my eyeballs in con prep. Now, we are also made possible by the sales of my books. We'll start with the fencing nails, the simple sword, the fighting axe, and the simple spear. Part of my ongoing, yes, friends, it is ongoing, system of Western martial arts protection. Oh, God, I am a hot mess this morning. Western martial arts training from the perspective of, so you've never handled the sword, I can take you with this book. And if you do the exercises and you actually listen, perhaps the good wit to follow my other channel, the Historical Fencing Guild, hashtag always promote, you can learn to sword fight. We're also made possible by Paints and Hellfire. My first in the series, because the fans have basically demanded it, and they'll do great bodily harm to me if I don't, of horror set in a small Appalachian town where, in this case, two reporters come to study a grisly murder and find themselves on opposite sides of a massive, hideous, supernatural conflict. There's fun, there's comedy, there's gore, there's horror. And apparently, chapter 20 has a line in it that makes our own Don Dulas have problems. I can't. as a horror author, there's no greater compliment that someone can pay me than, oh, I'll give. That's gross, Nick. Where did that even come from? So read that today. We are also made possible by Big Stompy Robots, my series of games and books that I will be demoing extensively Friday for the vendors, because I always set up and I'm open shop for during setup, and then Saturday for the public at Region Con. And Region Con is Saturday, April 13th, 10 till 10, located at 500 East Joliet Street, St. Cherville, Indiana. Now, go to RegionCon 20, I think it's RegionCon2024.com for more information. Guys, it is free to attend and only $10 to play other people's games. You know, the big namey stuff, like BattleTech and Warhammer and all that. Or you can play for free at my booth, because I don't charge people to play my game. I just charge them to buy parts. So I hope to see you all there. I will also be doing on-site art demos, and I will be at the table, assuming our vehicles are working, with the lovely Joe and Trelena Bachman. So I'm hoping we'll be able to have you guys there. I am a little flustered. I've had to deal with some shenanigans this morning, some of which I may discuss, some of which I won't discuss. Basically, the joy of setting up for a con, and we're going to go right into my accountability, which is, because I did get some writing done. As soon as I can get it to come up, because I have to take this offline to be able to get stuff. Bop, 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 bop. I am at 26,316 words. So I got almost 1,000 words in since we last talked. Not bad for doing the writing while waiting at CVS kind of shtick. Before we go any further, I did actually intend to do a custom splash art piece, but I had a message that required immediate attention 5 minutes before the broadcast. We will, at local my time, about 2 o'clock, almost exactly 2 o'clock till 5, be having this little thing of a solar eclipse today. Now, I am going to tell you, dear friends, dear viewers, do not look at it unprotected. If you didn't get the solar eclipse glasses that you can wear, that's okay. There is a trick you can do by putting a pinhole through like a paper plate and balancing it out where it will project the eclipse on the ground. Look up, you can find how to do this on YouTube. Do not look at the sun. Okay. It is actually more damaging to look at the sun during a solar eclipse than it is just looking at the sun, because it's your eyes think it's dark enough that the pupil will expand, allowing more of the unprotected light to come in. It will damage you. I know this from experience. And now I know some of you will say, why, Nick? You aren't the type of person to be dumb enough to look at a solar eclipse. No, I am not. I am the type of person who was undersized growing up through school. And when word came out that during the partial solar eclipse, because it's a lengthy time, the last time one radiated near my area, my classmates thought the best thing in the world to do would be pry my eyes open like in a horror movie and shove my head out the window, aimed up best they could tell without looking at the sun, to see if it would make me go blind. So, yes. No, it did not make me go blind. It did affect my vision, especially in the short term. It was incredibly painful to endure. And I do have some scarring on the back of my retina, but they don't think it's from that. They're not sure. It's delightful. But there are reasons why I have to wear big old thick hairy glasses. Not as bad as some people, but don't. That being said, if you want to know what it looks like, I will tell you what it looks like. The sun went black as night. The sky was as blood, and every bit of puddle on the ground that was reflecting light looked like molten gold. It was a truly beautiful and staggering and eldritch sight. That being said, as with all things eldritch and vaguely Lovecraftian, it came at the price of pain and sanity damage. So, again, I heartily encourage you not to look at that sort of thing. Okay? Be safe out there. I will say, during the eclipse, stay off the roads. This is a lot of people. Why are they making us? We are making a big deal about the eclipse for two powerful reasons. One, whenever there is a solar eclipse, there's a bit of a gravitational anomaly that people do not usually think about enough to discuss. We have on our planet two big gravitational forces that pull on our happy little planet. We have Mr. Sun, who holds us in place as we go, big science time. And we have Miss Moon, who goes around us. But usually they're pulling at different angles. Well, friends, during a solar eclipse, over that happy little spot, you have layered gravitational action. The sun is pulling in one direction, and so is the moon. The moon being much more closer and much more variable. Now, there's a long-standing theory that moon and lunar phases do affect people. Some people really think it has to do with the gravitational effects. Some people think, it's light refraction, whatever. I will say there is a slight chance of, the weather report is weirdness with a slight chance of high strangeness that gets go on. It tends to destabilize things. This is not me going through astrological BS. This is something that has been observed, and when it was observed originally by people who did not have science. So it is one of those I pay attention to. Secondly, and far more important than any shenanigan like that, is the fact that people in large mass, whom I love humanity, I love the individuals I have met. But people in groups are stupid. They're skittish, they're flighty, prone to anger and fear. This is how idiots are able to maintain control over us politically. Friends, it will get dark in the middle of the day. The sky will look spooky-ooky. Idiots will be looking at the sun, blinding themselves partially, because you're going to have floaters no matter what happens, and then trying to drive because they're morons. Every moron who thinks it is the apocalypse will be doing their best to facilitate it being the apocalypse. I have no sufferance for such people. And I understand that we may not have Carl in the thing, because as depicted in Hellboy, the film, Ron Perlman, every time this happens, he has to deal with a little bit more of the master getting really close. And that's problematic for our own Carl Witzman. So you have that. Friends who know. Friends who don't, laugh. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Just be smart, okay? And it's a long thing. It's going to be going across many hours. Don't be afraid to pay attention to other things that are going on. Because as a bit of someone who has studied sleight of hand, I am not a magician, but as our own Rich Asplund could easily attest, because he's studied more magic than I have, of that breed, when the whole world is saying, look at the shiny lady. Look at the shiny lady in the sky. Something else can very easily happen over here. So always keep one eye ready to look over here. All righty, friends? Now, what we can tell you that's totally separate from this lovely occurrence is that independent creator directory. It's supposed to be $40. See, I'm slipping this in at the end so that Joe doesn't notice. But if you use Podcast One coupled with my secret link, where's my secret link? This. So you go here, right? indcd.org. Use this little question mark, sold by equals Nicholas Tockert, right? And then you punch in for your code, Podcast One. You only pay a $20 lifetime fee, and I get a couple bucks out of it. Yes. But I didn't tell you that. But what I will tell you about is that Joe can talk about his station far better than I, and we'll get into the rest of the stream later. One more announcement. There will be no Friday Nevermind the Furthermore due to convention travel and shenaniganry. I have to be able to prep to go where I need to go. But I'll be back in a minute 11 to see more. All right, folks. As I'm prepping for the convention and completely scrambled brain, also not wearing nearly enough steel because I misplaced my neck knife. You guys have been doing great, wonderful things. So let's find out what you are up to by hitting the chat. First one through the door is Foxy. Hey, Foxy lady, sashaying in. Can't believe I'm the first one this morning. Hey, this is an odd morning, friends. Strangeness abounds. It's weirdly quiet in here. Yes, that's because Don Dulas, as well as the lovely Witzmans, are on their way to truck towards some viewing position, and I believe perhaps Eclipse Con, but they're definitely going where they can see the totality. I am avoiding it like the plague because I'm quite close enough. Thank you. And good morning, Trelena, my love, my art. Oh, how are you, dear? Hey, Trey, how's it going? It's going interestingly. Richie Aspen comes through, bangs the drum, bass drum, blows the harmonica. Are you better? I am feeling better, but I do want to ask why the song Piano Man is more about the harmonica playing than it is the piano. Cymbal crash. Really autocorrect? You change bass to bass on that? About autocorrect strikes again. Morning, folks. Morning, Rich. Reminds me of the time I was asking my brother about his ducks. My phone, bless its little heart, autocorrected it to the word it usually replaces with ducks. Good there. And Trey's laughing about, as she should. Woke. Hey, good morning, Woke. And hi, Rich. If I didn't say hi to you, we're doing groovy. I hope you're doing well. My brother had quite a laugh over that one. I bet. And everyone's greeting Woke. But it was all, oh, my phone knows me. Autocorrect. Oh, accountability. Accidentally figured out what size rings I need to make medium flowers. Groovy. And Thesis, hey, Thesis, hope you're doing well. Hey, Rich and Trey, and we've got greetings, and hello! Nicely done, sir. Hey, and hi, Grant, hope you're doing well. Barreling through getting that fulfillment done, I hope. And Rich says, blink, blink. Okay, sorry. There are a couple typos in there, but they were enough to trigger my, is that typos or is that my dyslexia? When I got the pattern, I saw large and small, but no medium. Made mental note to experiment for medium. Apparently, I accidentally grabbed medium scales last night. Rock on. And for the record, it's the same size links as small. Yes. Wow, dyslexia and derpy keyboard made for some green room shenanigans right there. You're not the only one, and we're making it through. Let's see. Hey, Grant. And good job messing up right, Rich. And hey, and accountability. Joe has meetings tonight and Wednesday, so I'll be streaming both days. Please be sure to ping me, and I will happily be in the background for either of those if you wish. Going to be making a Hungry Caterpillar Lovey, and already put the pre-stream links upon the MMFA page. Okay, gotcha. And we've got a bonfire.com. Yes, Thesis is currently one of the few I will tolerate selling t-shirts on my stuff because I have to deal with spammers so much I haven't been able to set up my own shop. Watch your ears. Yep. Saw your pre-stream last night, but the audio cut out when you went to the second camera. Either that or my speaker stopped working. Could be. Thesis, I was trying to figure out why it seemed not the green room so tight in the... I went to put it in the container and the other smalls and noticed the scales were too big. Nice, Thesis. Son of a badger. Son of a badger. That delighted me, Trey. I'll check the videos after NTF. It was working yesterday when I checked it. Hi, Blade. We got greetings. And Ethan, hey, happy Eclipse Day from Frankton Ambulance Service. Have fun. Eyes down. Do not look in the sky. Also, do not go in the dog park. Remember, there are no dogs allowed in the dog park. And please remember, the dog park is located by Rock Lake, which has no lake but does have a boat. Task failed successfully all the time. Morning, all morning, Kelly. You know what, Kelly? I set something up for you because I am rather impressed with something you've been working on. And I don't know if I was supposed to, but I snagged this. Kelly's got a new book coming out, Werewolves of London. And this is the cover, but so it's got, Lorem Ipsum. Lorem Ipsum. But it looks great. I can't wait to know what it's supposed to say. I would have let you guys go with the dear Lord. Is Nick throwing Latin up? But I am not going to do that. We're not playing pranks today. Hey, Ethan and Kelly. Hey, Thesis. Hey, Ethan and Kelly. We got greetings. Everyone's coming in, so I'll do a blanket hey to everyone I missed. That's right. Greetings. Thesis is promoting his Patreon. RegionCon.com, yo! Can't wait to see you all there. Praise to the mechanical gods for Nick. Well, the Mandy finally got a hold of the rednecks. We're not going to talk about how many weeks I've been hounding her to do this. And when I say the rednecks, I mean affectionately the incredibly awesome mechanics who are down in Swanington, Indiana. I believe it's LMN Garage? L&M or M&L? I believe it's L&M. Speech impediment time. But these guys are great. They've been fixing our stuff since we've come down here. Mostly. It's a neat group. I am not panicking. I am not panicking at all about this. So, yes, please be, right now, I need all the help I can get. We were in the path of totality last time, but it was so cloudy, not very good. This time we'll have about 50%, and it's bright and beautiful. We personally are at not better than 90% of totality, and we could drive down, but it's the middle of Mandy's workday. I don't have a vehicle that's accessible, and idiocy is going to congregate. I don't go where idiocy goes. See, idiocy goes this way, I go this way. Does it mean I miss out on some things? Yes. Does it mean when things go hideously wrong, I miss out on that too? Yes. But a 50% eclipse is worth looking at. I'll probably be foraging during the eclipse, so I'll be filtering it through my phone camera. Do you have a filter for your phone camera? Because it could actually be damaging to your phone camera. I'm very serious about that. Check it out before you attempt to do that day. You may have to take like the eclipse glasses and put them over the camera lens or something. But seriously, check that out so you don't burn out your phone camera. I'm Ubering during the eclipse. May the force be with you. Be careful, Grant. Worried about zombie stray? No. Worried about idiot zombies. We are still waiting for our third person soon. Oh, hi. I guess you will be here. Soon, I'll have to go be part of the lucky few, dances as Rasputin. Of course you will. That is way too big a door for me to have to close. I'm going to let the professionals handle it because I am retired. We'll only see about 50 here, but it's still cool. Cool, Grant. Have fun. Thank you. Use approved Eclipse glasses or build an Eclipse viewer. Instructions are all over YouTube. Yep. I've got some last time we had and kept them. We'll keep them for. Be careful and check that because there's actually an expiration. The plastic on that can dissolve. Good morning, Dan Hollifield. I knew you were busy. I didn't know you were as busy as you are, sir. I want to make absolutely certain that you realize I never have intended to pressure you or push you on the old Dan books, the old Dan story series. It's great work, but yeah, now that since you told me what your schedule looks like, I will tell everyone else to give you some space on that. You've got a lot to get through. And I hope your shoulder's doing better. Morning, Dan. I must go watch for dawn. Everyone have a safe day. You too, Carl. Hi, Dan. You too, Carl. Have fun. See ya. Great. Now I'm just picturing Grant with meringue on his face, a la Grant, Mrs. Stoutfire. So tonight's show is Behind the Yarn. Yup. Foxy's being scolded by a bird. Not the first time. For sitting in bed. It's the tree by our window looking at me and scolding. We've had red tails come and do that because they're very angry that my cats are inside where they can't be eaten. I also house chickens. It's allegedly. It's terrible. Accountability. 55 days until my story for Atvillian will be published. First story ever, and Dan has given me some great compliments. That's a good countdown. Nothing wrong with looking forward to your works, but what else are you doing? The trick is not to hold your breath. It's one thing that can be hard to learn when you're starting out. You have to learn to fire and forget your projects just a bit because it's tempting to just sit and I want to see how it goes, how it's received. It's out. Dan has accepted it. Get working on the next project because you are on the road now. Dang, even the birds are full of vinegar this morning. Yes, excellent thesis. And I looked up a countdown timer, so I expect a lot of that for the next couple months. Okay, cool. And yeah, you're supposed to be excited. You should be jumping up and down. But also, while you're excited for that, you have to keep kind of rolling. So we're planning to do the convention. I've had to stop a lot of processes to try to make big stompy robots, which I've only made 6 of them because my hands are so much worse than they used to be. And I am forced to use different tools due to some situational things. I may have to go down into the basement with a dust mask and fire up the Motosaw to try and knock this stuff out. Not something I'm necessarily looking for, forward to doing, but if needs be, needs be. I will try to have as many battle chests done as humanly possible. And then, if possible, extra units, because there are some people coming all the way from Illinois for the sole purpose of playing big stompy robots, which means I also have to find the trophy. Okay, good. Oh, wait, sorry. Wait, skip. Accountability failed this weekend. We'll finish up a short story this week. It happens. For those of us with chronic and persistent illness, injury, fatigue, etc., mental difficulties. Hi, my name is Nick. All the supplies. We will. I believe we will need to remember that rest is an action. Okay. Sort of like, okay, you're playing old school like Final Fantasy turn-based RPG. You look at boop, 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 attack, magic, item, defend. Defend is our version of rest is our version of defend. We are defending against extra damage. I know I said this, not this. That's being in LARPfuscate, and you can't see me. But sometimes you have to take a turn that is defend, and there is nothing wrong with that. Sometimes you have to run away. Oh, I've made things going on in the meantime, editing my unboxing video, rock on. Writing my song for my daughter, also rock on. Working on Foxy's ad. That's the accountability. See, this is big news. We love big news. This is accountability. Long range and short range goals keep things rolling. Yep. Mailing Rich's journal and picking a theme for Saturday's stream. Rock on. We had a wedding and too many people about. Completely understand that. And see, that's doing something. You were socializing enough to be perceived as a human being. Sometimes we have to do that. Now, I'm going to run an ad real quick. But before I do, I want to apologize for the disaster that I want to say was Friday's show when my internet dropped out entirely. I am very sorry. I know you guys were on a very important to me subject, and some really powerful comments came through, and I'm sorry I could not highlight them for you. The extreme wind just knocked me offline. That is a hazard of living where I am, so thank you for supporting each other during that time and being tolerant with me. Speaking of people who are tolerant with me, let's run an ad real quick because I think we're due. And I think I know what I have to run. I have to come down here to go. Trelana's doing amazing amigurumi and other little stitchery crocheted goodnesses I can't wait to see. Basically, our chunk of booths side by side are going to be très chic, amazing, should be grand. I'm really looking forward to that because the con time is a wonderful part to get attached to the community. It's an opportunity to have people tell you that they like your work or dislike your work. It's a great time for feedback and support and community with your loved ones, as well as the friends who are family who you don't get to see, and all the wonderful lunatics that inhabit the things we do, because it can be very easy to become very isolated as independent authors and creatives doing what we do. I spend 14 hours a week, easy, 12, 14 hours a week. Let's see. Most of my shows are supposed to be an hour, so it should be only 5 hours a week. Usually it turns into 10, and that's not counting shows I pop in. So very often 14 hours a week or so. Broadcasting and talking to a box. And the only response that I get, the only interaction I get the vast majority of the time is your amazing comments during these live streams, which is vital to me. But and thank you for that. There is nothing better than talking face to face with somebody who appreciates, the work and the art that you're doing, whatever format it may be. And frankly, I could use the positive energy insert. I could use the upgrade. It's been a bit of a run. And we're coming on a time of year that is always challenging on me. Some years more than others, and I have a feeling that this year might be extra spicy. We are experimenting, for example, with a very new pins. We have a new pin maker, and Mandy is just working on resizing pictures, going through DA. I have to move and set up a folder of, the ones I think would work best for prints, but I haven't been able to do that yet today. One of the pins we're setting up, if it works, it'll be very cool. We'll have a little anime, half angel, half succubus picture. Now, the reason that this one has such special meaning to me was it was commissioned / requested by a friend of mine by the name of Zach Cunningham, and it was to be his back piece. And I say it was to be his back piece because he passed before very unexpectedly. He had problems and a shortened lifespan due to his medical problems. They just didn't expect it to be that shortened. So every time I see it, it makes me a little emotional. And you have to have things like that. And he is the brother of Benjamin Starkey, who also fairly passed. It's been 4 years, but it feels like yesterday. He passed in part because he could not receive proper medical attention due to the pandemics, due to the way the lockdown was working, and due to some other factors. And I miss him dearly and still nearly daily. Ben was the showrunner for ArcticCon, and ArcticCon has since been sort of reincarnated by many of the people who are in that group as RegionCon, which is why RegionCon is currently very special to me, because it's sort of a legacy. But that means that as I approach it, there's always going to be that feeling of loss. One of the great tragedies of my life is that for assorted reasons, the I've already lost quite a few dear friends of mine. Part of this being because I've always had older mentors. Part of this being because of the hazards of being, I still like the term neurospicy, but at this point, more logically neurodivergent. It's a thing that many of us, simply because with attention deficit means certain things, including a literal distractibility, and given how driving and other things works, it tends to statistically dramatically shorten our lives. It's just the truth. When you stack in some other comorbidities and some of the other things that have been gifted to me as a genetic legacy, thanks to the wonders of Agent Orange, I know that my own time could be shorter than I would like. I am aware of this. It is tragic, but I am quite aware. So what I do is I try to use my time to do the most good for the most people in such a way that it continues long after I'm gone. That is the goal. I don't always succeed. Oftentimes I fail, especially of late, simply because I did not have a couple of my diabetic medicines, because some morons figured out, hey, it makes us lose weight. And, there was a massive shortage as a bunch of Hollywood types decided, well, that will get those few pounds I need off. And I don't know whether they are victims or perpetrators of a horrible system of, body shaming abuse. But it does mean that the most effective medicine for balancing out several of my things has become hard. Now, I have because I've told you guys about this, I have been able to secure a lower than I need dosage to maintain. And I was able to get that Saturday. So I'm going through the onboarding shenanigans of that particular substance, because it has to come back on, and I'm skipping about 3 steps to be at the level I'm at to function, and then I'll probably be skipping a few more, which means sort of violent recoil, but it's the only way to get the meds in me. And while they are diabetic type meds, it does also have side effects, and they can be positive, but they can also be troubling. So I have a lot on my plate right now. I thank you guys for being as awesome as you are. And I know I'm talking about my stuff, and I don't want to seem a downer, because I am not actually in a downer mood. I'm actually quite excited about everything that's coming up. But I'm also incredibly anxious about it, because I hold a lot of things in high standards, and having to face again the effects of some of my limitations in the last few weeks while I've tried to find workarounds has been challenging. I, in the near future, will be addressing them, but in other ways. Hence that big $200 paperweight over there, and a few other things. But with so much condensed emotion associated with Region Con, for me personally, it can be a lot. I'm also, of course, been notified by Amazon that my hard copies are possibly here by Saturday. So I will probably get my hardcovers in for the books, for the Hates and Hellfire after the event, possibly whilst I am at the event. In fact, just about everything I've ordered in the last few weeks has been delayed for one reason or another. It's kind of problematic when you're trying to prep for a convention. But we did get the buttons in last minute, so we are hoping, Mandy right now is working on making and running off images for the buttons. We're hoping that goes well. And once I am suited up, once I am at the convention, I will be on like Donkey Kong. Y'all know me. But having both my trucks have decided to stop working the week of the convention. That's a powerful FU, Nick, right there, that we have to deal with. I knew it was coming, and we've tried to get it in, but things have come up. So we will do what we can do. Beyond that, we have these challenges. And guys, I like to play my cards open. I say that a lot because I have people, you shouldn't be open online. People will take advantage of you. People will disrespect you or whatever. No. Because people take advantage of me anyway. I'm a nice guy. Worse, I'm a good guy, and I try to be a kind guy. Which means I get taken advantage of. But it also means that I can say, yeah, you know what? It's okay to be excited about something that you look for all year long, and at the same time be anxious and uncomfortable about it. We are not forced into one emotion at a time. We are complex beings, friends. And that complexity, that ability to simultaneously contradict ourselves gives us an experience of humanity. And we are at a time and place where I think we need to relish our humanity. I believe the appeal of what's needed for the human condition is actually greatly under fire. And it has been for some time. Charlie Chaplin, who, yes, I know, as an individual was problematic. He did a speech in a film called The Great Dictator. And I think it was a direct answer to a charismatic tyrant that rose in that time. And in part of it, he says, the only people who want war are machine men with machine hearts. And I encourage you to go on YouTube and look up that video, because first off, he is very much parodying a certain historical dictator. You will see that he is visibly parodying him. Don't mistake that for anything wrong. But listen, it's a good speech. And I think it's one that needs to be listened to in this time where many things are under assailment, are being assailed. Sorry, I kind of twist the English language and tie it in knots when I need to. But that just because it's hard, guys, doesn't mean you stop. Just because there's an event that while you're looking forward to, you're also anxious about and worried about how you're going to get there. They say worry is a waste of imagination, and it is. I'm much better at Batmaning. I go worry, okay, what contingency plans can I work out? And so I am working on that. I may have to, pull a rabbit out of my hat, so to speak, but won't be the first time. The trick to everything is to sometimes realize that even in the best of times, there is some suck, okay? Even when everything looks great, there is some suck. And equally, buried into the darkest of hours, there's always a little light. There's always a hope. And recognizing the existence of both these truths and balancing them will do wonders for your ability to endure and go through things. Because stress is stress, whether it's good or bad, guys, and that affects us all. So we use this. Most of us are fiction writers. This is the fodder for fiction, friends. Right now, people are going to be moronic because of the eclipse later today, because of political events later this year. And while I have borne witness to a lot of this, I realize that it is wonderful fodder for the books. And sometimes the best way to deal with fiction, with the bizarrety of reality, is to embrace the hilarity of fiction, the absurdity. Absurdity crosses all boundaries, friends. As does the fact that apparently today they are firing off the CERN. Some of you will find that delightful as well. But from the macro problems to the micro problems in our life, we still have opportunities, guys, to go forward and create. We still have opportunities to make things better. We still have a chance in our day-to-day, in our minute-to-minute, and in our year-to-year to improve our lot and that of others. And that is a wonderful, powerful gift because we have the ability to perceive and track such things. So it is okay to feel bad. It is okay to admit that you feel bad about things, good or whatever, regardless of what people tell you to feel. The trick is you're going to feel it. Feel it, understand it, and then let it go. And wait for the next part to come through. That is the best way to process. Because growth does not come from stagnation, friends. Emotional stagnation, spiritual stagnation, mental stagnation, physical stagnation, none of these give you growth. Growth comes through slow, continuous work. Rarely does it come in a giant leap. It comes from doing one or two small things consistently over and over again. And as I've said before, change is only made possible through the viscosity of tears. Because, to borrow from JMS, there are only two types of time we ever exist in. Moments of transition or moments of transformation. And much like the quote of which I am flirting with, right now feels like a bit of both. And that's okay. Because that's where we pay attention. That is when the world is at its most uncertain or odd, whenever you feel that sense of the impending storms in life, that is when the smallest goods do the smallest efforts for good can do the most results. That is when fate is in a sway. It's in flux. And whenever there's a flux like that, this is an opportunity, dear friends, to do something positive, to help someone, to put another stone in the stream, to make the ripples towards better effects. And it's vital that we do so. It is vital, friends, that we do good in this world. And that is in part putting out our stories, putting out our art, putting out our creations, our music, our song, our ideas, our perspectives. Because rest assured, on the other side of the river, there will always be individuals who will see times like this, recognize them as being malleable, and try to leverage them towards their own ends, regardless of how it affects others. And we must always be vigilant for an opportunity to do good. Because the vigilance of the good must transcend the attentions of the greedy. Okay? We have to be better than that. So, yeah. I'm going to keep promoting folks who are trying to make the world a little better place. And, even by telling horror stories that have the word homage in them, bringing joy is a valid effort. It matters. And then I'll get through your comments because I haven't been running enough ads, so I'll run an ad real quick. And then we'll see, okay?
Hello, I'm Dan Hallfield. I'm the senior editor and publisher of Abelian Webzine, the world's oldest free creative writing e-zine since 1997. Since then, we have helped over 500 amateur writers learn what they needed to turn pro. www.apelion-webzine.com and read not only what we've got going on right now, but 28 years worth of our archives of stories. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dan Hallfield. And we're going to get back to the comments because I was prattling for a bit there. And we have, let's see, Thesis says, I've been without one of my meds since Saturday. Hopefully they will get it in sometime today. Good luck with that. I'm going to have to figure out what to do with my meds because my health insurance ran out and I don't have money to get it again. That is problematic, Grant. There are a couple people around you can talk to who might be able to help you get supplemental or something to help cover you. I'm going to have to figure out which meds I really need and which ones I don't. That is tragic, Grant. I'm really sorry to hear that. Sucks, Grant. Hope you can get figured out. And hello, Matthew Crakey. You're once again skating in towards the end of the show, but we're glad to have you in the chat. And I hope I'm saying your name correctly. And there's that word again. Yes, homage. I quite like them. Anyone who reads my books knows there are several. See, good RX does help. So we can find ways to work around. My problem has not been a matter of finance. It's been a matter of availability. But we can do amazing things. And I know you can because I've seen you guys' work. I've seen the wonders you guys create. And I know, and it's soul-rending to me, that many of you just haven't found the angle to get discovered, And that's why we market and we promote ourselves and we promote each other and we build up good folks so that hopefully, everyone around us can level up. Because in the end, that's what we want to do. I want to maximize everyone's opportunities and capabilities to do good because you guys deserve it. You guys deserve to be recognized for the writing, the art, the music, the videos, the efforts you're putting to make the world a better place. And that's why we have this humble show. That's why when the amazing Brian K. Morris said, I'm going to have to get rid of this program because I've got too much on my plate, that I said, oh, if I'm not stepping too forward, I'll do it. And he looks at me and says, I kind of hoped you'd say that. I suspect I got Batmaned just a bit, but it's nice being somebody's contingency plan. We are at the hour, and it is a Monday, so we will have Daphne and Nita coming on in a few minutes on their channel. Nita will be getting me a new ad, so the Indie Comic Network. Please view them. They're making great stuff. It's very cool. I have a standing invite to Sketchy Saturdays, and one of these times I'm going to get back on that because it's a blast. I will be back Wednesday. I will remind you all again that there will be no Friday. Nevermind the Furthermore, due to I have to be somewhere packed, loaded, and out the door. That will require me not to be able to do this. So I will see you guys at RegionCon Saturday, and some of you Friday for those of you who are working it. And you're currently planning a Kickstarter for, well, when it is ready, we'll let you put the links out here, Matt, and we'll get to try and get some eyes on it for you. Because that is a powerful thing to do. It's a challenging thing to do. And I hope your Kickstarter goes well. That's what we do. We try to help people here. But I am at the end of the hour, and I don't want to stomp over Nita and Daphne. So, guys, I will see you Wednesday. So keep drawing, keep creating, keep making what you love, because you can edit it, you can improve it. And you can't edit a blank page. Now, Matthew has a question. How much should I charge for digital and physical? That is something you need to look up with a few others. Anyone in the chat, please respond to this, after the show is closed up, because it needs to. Other than that, I can point you to a few people, possibly, who can give you some more information on that. Talking to Randy. God, I lost his last name. It just fell off my head. I hang out with him all the time online. But the head of Arrow Comics can tell you some things. Nita Lanning can give you some advice, especially if you pay her. If you pay her, you can get excellent advice. Zimmerman, thank you. And that's not that I don't know Randy. It's that my brain just doesn't brain some days, especially at the end of a broadcast. So I'd start talking with him. He can direct you to a whole lot of people. Nita Lanning over at the Indie Comic Network can. Aphasia is the word. Yes, I suffer from it regularly. And thank you, Rich. Fortunately, people have learned to speak Nickese. With that, guys, I love you, and you should too. I will see you all Wednesday. I don't know how long Wednesday's show will be. I don't know how much art I'll be able to do during it. It will depend on how much I can get done today and tomorrow. But till then, have a good one. And remember, don't look into the sun.